What are you looking for? Comments?
Well, yeah, I was gonna see if we had like comments and stuff could come up over here, but I'm not sure that they can. But Ecamm live program. I don't know. Are we live on over there? We might have to close this out for the first time. It appears to be frozen. My computer might be frozen. Oh no. All right, we're gonna try one thing here. And 2,000 miles on the R1S. Okay, now we're live over here. So, live on YouTube. Okay, hopefully we're live everywhere now. So, that was, my computer like froze up. So our main screen with us that we rely on for comments and everything else was not working properly. But I think we've got it. Okay. All right, so
Today we are talking about the two Rivians that we have, an R1T and an R1S.
Yes.
We have 15,000 miles and 2,000 miles on them. So R1S is 2.
Yes, the R1S has 2,000 miles. So we feel like we're finally getting a feel for it, and really having some experience with it now at this point. And we kind of took a little hiatus of talking about the Rivians and stuff because of the Lightship coming in, and that was super cool. We wanted to share that with you guys, so we got through that part. But so now we want to come back to the Rivians and stuff and talk about how they're doing. I think first thing that we have a kid hovering behind the camera waiting for screen time. So we did not plan that well today either. But one of the things is that we have discovered that the R1S has a shake.
Yeah, the wheel shakes back and forth once you go over about 60, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so we had them actually look at it, and they determined that it was not shaking your arm, and it's a known issue. But we do have video of that, and it is shaking our arm, and we just figured this out, so we still have to bring it up with Rivian and talk to them about it. More than likely, we're going to have to drive it down to Kansas City for them to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Or I might do my own experimenting and put the other tires on it when we want to do some tests.
Yeah.
And see if it's potentially just like a wheel imbalance or something like that, which is possible. Or it could just take it to somebody.
Yeah. Take it
else.
to someone locally, and they can do a few things to see if that is the issue. But, we feel confident that they will eventually get it figured out. When it first happened and we were a little bit annoyed, and we were like, really? But then I reminded Steve that we had a similar type issue in the Tesla that was a known issue where the front axle, what was it?
I don't know.
Something was causing a vibration through acceleration in the Tesla. And it's frustrating when that happens on a new vehicle, but they did get it figured out for us. And so, I'm confident that Rivian's going to do the same. But, we want to be upfront about all this stuff and let you guys know these things because we don't want it to appear as though it is perfect and roses when it isn't. Otherwise, though, like no other issues other than that. And it's not a huge issue for us because we don't drive 60 miles an hour, over 60 miles an hour that often. In our town that we live in, we just don't have a highway or system where we're getting on the highway often and going over 60 miles an hour. So it's really not a huge deal for us until we get it all figured out.
Yeah. And I know in the past I've talked about, I feel like we're done with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know in the past I've talked about how I thought the R1S rides maybe better in certain situations. The more that I've gotten time with it, which isn't a whole lot, you drive it more, but I do think it's only cornering.
Yeah.
I do think it is a rougher ride, and I don't know if that's the 22s versus the 20s or what that is, but it definitely is a rougher ride.
I feel like it's got to be the wheels.
The wheelbase?
Well, like the actual wheels.
Oh,
I think, personally, that's what I think it is, just because of
I mean,
the
they're
sounds that it makes
they're
when
the
it's
same
going over.
PSI, and so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe
But
that's
there is more sidewall
Yeah.
on it, so I'm not a tire expert, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
The other thing is we originally said light ship. So yes, the light ship was super cool. But one of the things that we noticed, or one of the things that I noticed, is I originally said that I think that the R1S is more efficient. And so I think I need to correct that a little bit. And it is more efficient on days when the weather is not as extreme. If it's really cold, I don't know about really hot yet, but this is my assumption, is that there's a bigger impact on the range. And I think it's because it has to heat more of the vehicle up. So there's more space inside to keep warm. So I think that may be cause it to drop a little more quickly when the temperature is not as when it's a little bit colder. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on, because yesterday it was like almost 70 degrees and I didn't have the air conditioner on, and it shot not way up, but it was over 2 really quickly, which I almost never saw in the R1T. Like, no matter what the weather was, I felt like I could get it at 2, but never really above 2. So I want to get out a spreadsheet and document all of it and figure it out.
Wow,
I'm like,
really?
this is interesting.
I'm impressed by that.
Well, I do.
It
like
just
my
makes
spreadsheets.
sense. So,
It does. It does.
And just for reference too, we do not precondition our cars or anything
No.
like that. So that's why she's talking about, shooting up past 2 or not shooting up past 2. If you precondition your car, do all that stuff, like, you shouldn't have an issue of being up over 2 most of the time.
Yeah.
So
But
that's just to be specific on that.
yeah, we don't. So
No.
So a couple on TikTok. So we've got somebody commenting on Lightship, and yes, we and I need to make some more short form stuff on the Lightship and stuff, just because it really is cool, and we're still trying to figure out if we can get them to come out to the Charged Rally and hopefully bring the camper with them. And then seeing the camper, I want to see it. So figuring out a time to find it and be able to go out and see it in person for myself. But and then someone else was asking, that dude with the questions was asking if we do social media full time now, and no, we do not. We still both have full-time jobs and try to maintain this at the same time. So so we're keeping busy, but we love doing it, and we love sharing, and we love building the community. We love seeing people coming in, on these live streams every evening, and getting the, on every Tuesday evening and coming in on the chat. So that's why we do it. So how do I change the timing belt on my 04 Toyota Corolla?
Very carefully.
Hey, we might not know the 04 Toyota Corolla, but we do know we've got the 1919 Dodge in our garage, if that helps, for anybody.
Toyota Corolla.
I know. Okay. Will you
Sure,
guys
there's
get the
a
arrow?
tensioner. What? Anyways.
He would Google it and figure it out. Will you guys get the aero covers for the 20-inch wheels? Do you will think it'll improve the efficiency that much, since the tires are all terrain?
20-inch wheels? I'm not sure they make them for the 20-inch wheels. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. I just have not seen that. Some people follow the stuff a lot closer than I do. The 21s, I know they have the aero covers on them. And so, yeah.
So the same person that has the 04 Toyota Corolla is asking how you stop Jehovah's Witnesses from knocking on your door.
You don't. They're fun. You just talk to them until they want to talk about what they want to talk about.
Or if you're like me, you are the person that, like, as soon as your doorbell rings, you, like, tell all the children to not make a sound and, like, drop to the ground and, like, army crawl over to the window to, like, see if you can peek out and figure out who it is. But another question on TikTok. So B Johnson, sorry, me and my old eyes, is an engineer at Rivian, and if we are still liking it. And yes, we love both now that we have the R1T and the R1S.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably the full-on fangirl when it comes to Rivian. Like, I just really, really like those vehicles. So Steve's probably got the more objective response.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I do a decent job of removing myself from
You do.
like situations and being more objective.
Yes.
Not all the time. I mean, I was pretty excited about the Lightship RV and then thought about some questions and thoughts I had later, but in the moment I was definitely fangirling a little bit. So
yes.
And so but overall, it's been a great vehicle and the truck. And so I don't know. That's a great vehicle. We've talked about how much we like that truck in the past, and so it's just pretty crazy. Like the biggest array of things that it can do is when we towed our camper out to Colorado, and we were able to tow a camper out there and then go off-roading, and then in the mountain like roads, you can put it in sport mode and it handles like a sports car.
Drive it like a Corvette through the mountains.
It's crazy. So better than a Corvette. So maybe not a Toyota Corolla, but anyways. So I think that it's a great vehicle for us so far. I do not know why anybody wouldn't want one, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And Ryan has popped in over here on TikTok too. Kilowatts, I should say. So, is it moral for the EV trucks to be marked up over MSRP? If you're buying them directly from like the I shouldn't say dealerships, because if you're talking about Ford, some of the dealerships are marking them up. But the trucks themselves, like coming straight from Rivian or straight from Ford, if you find a dealership that's not going to go up over MSRP, it's a dealership choice. The demand is obviously there, so
I don't even know that they're charging over MSRP.
I don't know if they are.
I don't follow it that close, but I kind of feel like the market's cooled down quite a bit. And,
I would agree with that.
So I don't think they're charging as much over MSRP if they are, but I could be wrong too. I don't know the answer to that. Yeah. Somebody over here was asking, did somebody trade in the R1S at the Ford dealership? No, it was owned by the dealership owner.
Yes.
At least I think he owned the dealership, but he he's selling it for more than what he paid for it, because I'm sure he got the pre-March March 1st, 2022 price increase. And so I'm assuming that's what he did.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for a fact, so don't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, we just, there are not a ton of them out there. The ones that are, I'm sure people are just flipping them, and we knew that once we saw one, we knew that we were probably just going to have to bite the bullet, because it was going to be a better fit for our family. And, we wanted the SUV.
Yeah.
So we just did what we had to do to get one and to move forward, because we knew that there were going to be more trucks coming down the line. So we just went for the S when we could get one. So Tim was saying that there is some suspension clunking when he's going over some bumps, because he got an R1T, which is awesome, and we still need to see it in front. But there is some clunking, but like not.
There's definitely clunking. It's a known issue. I can't remember specifically what it is, but they're working on it. I can't remember specifically what it is, but you can go in and get things tightened and greased up, and then it'll go away for a little bit and they'll come back. So I don't remember what that is. I know Kyle Connor had talked about it, so that's where I'm referencing that.
Yes.
Outside of that, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking about when they had the creaking, but that was different. It wasn't a clunking, but that was just like they didn't grease something properly, and then they got it fixed, and it was fine. So
Yeah, but I think that's the issue.
oh, is it?
Maybe I'm thinking of something different then.
But well, it was like the creaking was like when you stopped and went. It wasn't like over bumps.
It was when you turned and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's true. It's been a while since we had that issue. Yeah, they aren't the smoothest riding vehicles, but dang, they do make up for it in fun.
It's fairly smooth, but I don't know that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not like the Lightning was. The Lightning was super smooth. Like it was like I said, it's like driving a Cadillac. It was just like smooth grandpa vehicle is how I view it. It was great.
Yes.
But I don't know.
When it boils down to it, though, like it's just really fun to drive. I don't get in that vehicle and not have fun, because every time you see like either vehicle, every time you see a Camaro or a Corvette or a TRX or whatever it is, you just like put it in sport mode here, make sure that you can't catch me, and you just have a little bit of fun with it. So the only people that I worry about are the plaids. So I don't run into them very often.
You tried to race one the other day, right?
I did, but he didn't take off because we were at the light together, and he didn't take off. And then he got in front of me, and then he needed to turn right, and so he floored it because he was gone in a second to get in front of this other person and turn right. And I was like, why did you wait until that part? So I was a little bit, maybe he was a little nervous. Maybe he had a low state of charge or something. So he was worried that he was gonna get beat. But you can get a used R1T for the low to mid 80s. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we were seeing, I think, when we were looking at
I think there's one out there right now that's high 70s.
Nice.
But
yeah,
I don't know if there's any background with that vehicle or not, but I did look at that the other day.
So seeing more of the R1Ts and a couple R1Ss at the service center in Olathe. That's awesome. And we're seeing some of the articles and stuff about Rivian are saying that they are finally starting to get caught up with the number of trucks versus reservation holders and all of that stuff. So that is good news, and we even see more here. I don't even think did we tell that story about the R1S we saw it when we the first day after we got it?
I think so. But
did we?
Can say it again. Yeah.
It was really funny because the morning. So Steve got home at 10 o'clock at night with the R1S. And the next morning, Oliver had an early soccer game, so we left the house at 7:30 in the morning, and we were pulling out. We were not even out of our neighborhood onto a main street yet, and here comes an R1S down the street, and we had never seen one before in town, and we were like, what? So
that's hilarious.
So they are popping up more often because we were like, there's an R1S. So it's funny, but took my mom out for a drive and did a first official launch. Said it was fun, but once was enough. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Everybody's kind of okay, that's good. Let's do it all the time.
Yeah, I launched somebody in the Lightning, an older gentleman, and he said that he wouldn't even set foot in the R1T, so...
Josh says, watch out for the cops when you're racing. I don't race. What are you talking about? I don't. No. It's too much fun not to. You just have to drive it. And give people that experience. You're like, hey guys, everybody, wait up.
You only race until the speed limit.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But
we just get there the fastest.
Excessive acceleration.
It definitely is. But the fun part about it is nobody has any idea. When you do excessive acceleration in a Camaro or a Corvette or whatever it is, everybody knows you just had excessive acceleration. And Tesla or an R1T or any of those things, you do have no idea that it just happened. So,
Exactly.
But anyway, oh, there we go. I was missing the new comments over here. The Tesla probably didn't hear you revving. Nope,
That's funny.
he didn't. Driven a Plaid yet? No, that is something we haven't even ever ridden in a Plaid yet, right? You haven't? I haven't.
No.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, but no, we have not driven or ridden in a Plaid yet.
Yeah, we probably should be going to, more events and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but we get consumed by life, and
We have a lot of stuff going on.
yeah, and so we don't get to make it to a ton of car shows, and some of those car shows that we end up going to are with our buddy Teddy,
Yes.
which he owns a TRX, and so they're usually not, EV.
They don't love us.
Yeah, which, well, they
No,
love
I shouldn't.
us,
Yeah,
they're
I shouldn't
fine.
say that.
But it kind of makes it more interesting anyways, to be honest.
It does.
If you ask me.
It does, because the last one that we went to when we pulled in with the R1S, number one, I was driving, and the dude that we parked next to 100% thought I was going to back into his Camaro or whatever, Mustang. I don't even remember what it was next to us.
Yeah.
But he came and put himself between the car and the vehicle, and I'm like, I got it. I'm not going to hit your car.
I have 17 cameras.
Yeah,
on
I've got
this
17
car.
cameras, and I am aware that your vehicle is there. But as we're getting out of the car, he's like, "What is this? Like, what? But what is it? It's a Rivian R1S. Well, but who makes it? Rivian makes it." And then the confused look of where they have no idea. So, it's been fun. Rode in a Lightning this past week and a Jeep Rubicon 4xe. We've only seen those at CES, I think, the Jeep Rubicons. So we haven't had a chance to ride in one of those yet, but would love to again. Right? I know. Maybe we should go out to Colorado and be like, Kyle, we have never ridden in a Plaid. Let us go for a ride in the Plaid.
Well, we can call it GP Customs and go for a
that's
ride
true.
any day.
He does have one. I forgot that he has one. That's a local customization shop in town, which debating on if we want them to mat out the R1S or change the color of it completely, maybe even.
Yeah.
So
what color would you make the
yeah,
R1S?
yeah. What color should we make the R1S if we were going to change it? So
Mustard yellow.
no, I'm not driving a mustard yellow
So,
vehicle. No, no.
A matted out mustard yellow.
No.
Come on.
Camper travel in Eastern Tennessee, let people know. They're a blast. Well, we love Tennessee. We've been twice now. We went once with the kids and once on our own. And we are already planning a trip back to Nashville because we love Tennessee. So
She is. But
Yes,
Nashville's
yeah.
fun. Nashville's fun.
Nashville is a
I don't
lot
know
of
much
fun.
about Knoxville or any
No.
of that, but I'm sure it's pretty there.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it's beautiful and good music and fun to visit. So
Yeah, well,
I-
is Knoxville
bright
good
green.
music? Bright
Well,
green, I like it.
everywhere in
Oh,
Tennessee.
you can go anywhere in Tennessee
Yeah.
and they got good music, huh?
Pretty much. A purple people eater. Now that I might be able to get more behind.
A
But
purple?
purple people eater. How about
Yeah.
Harvest Orange? That's probably a little bit closer. I think I want it because one of the appeals, not orange, but one of the appeals of what I like about the Rivian is the outdoorsy look on it. And so I would like to make it look, outdoorsy. So almost like a launch green, but not quite launch green in a matte color is where I feel like I want to go. Or there's a Bronco color that was pretty. Somebody had a Bronco wrapped in it. I'm not sure if it was actually a Bronco color. Remember? It was at that car show, and Teddy said you should do it that color, and we were like,
That was a
yeah, that's pretty
Mustang.
good. Oh, it was a Mustang, wasn't it? And then I think we
and-
saw Bronco later that looked almost.
Yeah, I
similar.
don't know what color that is.
Yeah, but it's
It was almost like is it Interstellar or whatever that is on the
Yeah.
Mach-E?
yeah.
It was almost that color, but
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more tan.
Hey,
So.
excuse me. Pigeon Forge has a great campground. It's this. Plus, stay for free. Wonder if the used EV market is going to come down like used ICE vehicles are right now. Eventually. I would think. I don't know.
Well, the EV market has taken a hit. So,
Yes.
I mean, our truck used to be able to sell for 120, and
Yeah.
now, as somebody stated before, mid 85. So,
Yeah.
and that's quite a drop. And you're seeing the Tesla market too, where you can get some decent Model 3s for close to that 25,000. Maybe even be able to get some under 25,000, which would qualify for that used tax credit, which would
True.
Used car EV tax credit, and that's super helpful to a lot of people. I've contemplated on, when we're done with this whole roulette of electric trucks, which I'm kind of honestly want to be done with it.
Yeah, but that Hummer, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Thought about exploring that, where get a Model 3 or something like
Yeah.
that that has autopilot. I think that'd be great. So.
Yeah. So somebody was saying the British Racing Green.
All
So
right.
somebody out there that can like render photos and like put all these colors on the R1S should do it and send it to me, because I would not be able to do that. And then Josh said that burnt orange would be a great fall color. Hey, I would change my car color every season. Like could do like an orange for fall and like a red for Christmas time. See, I like this idea. I want a seasonal
Josh is
color.
a handy guy. Maybe he can actually wrap the vehicle.
Do it for me. Hey, but yeah, okay. So we're running out of time, so I'm gonna make sure there's no other comments. Electric dealership that sold an R1S this past October for 140. Yeah, so they were like up there when they came out, just like the trucks were, because you couldn't get
Yeah.
your hands on one. And so, but they have even come down quite a bit,
Yeah.
just because they're easier to get your hands on one, so people aren't paying as crazy amounts just to get their hands on
Yeah,
one.
it's still a little over what current MSRP is
Yeah.
on those, but yeah, you can get it closer.
Yep, a lot closer. So,
But yeah, not to the pre-March 1st,
no.
2022, because that was more in the 70,000
Yeah.
range. So
Yep.
it's more in the 90,000 is what
Yeah.
MSRP is.
Yeah.
For the quad motor, for the ones that are available.
Yeah.
So
Which are fun to drive. But, all right, we're
closing thoughts on the R1S and R1T.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that I really like them. There's just very subtle differences between the two of them, so I'm happy. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, happy. Yeah. So, well, I thought we were talking about the differences.
I know,
so I
yeah.
just was
Well-
curious what you're.
Well, just like the miles of review and how far we've driven them, and I still no major problems. Obviously, a few minor problems that we documented on the R1T, and then the shake on the R1S, and I think all of it's going to get taken care of, and that overall they are quality, beautiful, fun vehicles to drive.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'll be interesting long term, the R1S, to see how much energy it does utilize
Yeah.
to heat and cool the inside of it.
Yep.
Because that's something I honestly didn't think about, but I do think that is going to be a potential why it may be less efficient than the R1T.
Yeah.
Who knows though?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah, we'll find out. But yeah, so sorry if we missed your comments, but we're back on soccer schedule, so we got to jet out of here again. But we will be back again next weekend. And you guys can also drop your comments like in the preview, especially on like YouTube and Facebook. And then we could get them in advance so that we can answer those. And even if you can't catch it live, then we can still answer your questions, and you could come back and watch the rerun on YouTube or Facebook and get answers to your questions. But thanks for being with us
Thanks, guys.
tonight, and we'll see you back next week.
Bye.
All right, you remember you do that one.
I don't know how.
You hit the end button.
I know, but you have it covered up.
Oh. Wow, it is really covered up. It's like off the screen.